What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, just another PuggyTuber, coach of your Piedmont Triad Kickers, coming at you again with our draft analysis for MDL VGC. I know some of you are probably thinking, haven't I already seen this? And you probably have. But the issue is, the first time I uploaded this, apparently I had no audio, which is weird because from my computer's perspective, I heard audio, but when it gets uploaded, there's no audio. That's very weird. But anyway, we're re-uploading this. So if you watched my week one and the team builder doesn't have audio for you, then just know going forward we're going to try to fix that. Because once again, I don't know how the heck that happened. But we are re-uploading the draft analysis at least to explain that. But we're also not going to re-upload our week one because at the end of the day, that's already been posted. And I feel like the thing most people are here for anyway is the battle part. If you do want to see like what I brought and like the breakdown of the EVs and stuff, or SPs, I guess you could say. I mean, you can just pause as you look through each Pokemon. But if there's no audio for you, I apologize for that. But yeah, we're at least gonna redo this though. So this is my draft analysis for MDLs. Um, I think they count the VGC season separate from like the singles season. So even though I was in season 8 last season for singles, I think technically this is like either season 2 or season 4 for doubles. I know that's like a pretty big like jump in between, but that's what I think is going on. But yeah, we're here. We were given 110 points to draft 9 to 11 Pokemon, as opposed to like I think I made another draft where we had like a similar point value, but we had to get like 10 to 12. We never go to 11 or 12 anyway. Well, sometimes we do, but I don't feel like in VGC you need to at least. So like 9 or 10 is fine, I think. We were given a limit of 2 Mega Captains, so we can't go over 2, but we're allowed to have just 1 if that's what we chose to have. This league will be 8 weeks plus playoffs. Uploads are not required, but obviously we're going to be uploading. And there's 32 coaches altogether, and we were divided into 4 divisions of 8 people. And if I remember correctly, we're going to play each other, like every person once, and then like play one extra person or something like that, and there's going to be playoffs. It's something like that. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. In regards to the draft order itself, I ended up in 7th out of the 8 people I was with, and for the most part, I know most of them, like DRVR, familiar with him, Josh, familiar with him, Matzo, familiar, Twisted Games, Dark One, Cometh, familiar. Jacobs and Keyblade are coaches I haven't had the fortune of being in leagues with in the past, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a fun time with these coaches and these new, like the old faces and the new faces. So I've gone through the rules, gone through where I was in the draft order. So I think it's about time we get into the draft itself. I know some of you guys have probably already seen this. So honestly, I won't be surprised if none of y'all chose to rewatch this. But if you did want to hear my thoughts on the team, here we go. So for the first round draft pick, I wanted a Mon that could basically. So if you've played doubles, then like there's different archetypes, different modes you can run to try to like beat your opponent. Because you want to try. I've learned you want to try to have like different modes on your team. That way your team can function in different ways to catch your opponent off guard. So for the first round, I wanted a Mon that can basically fit onto any kind of team. So we decided to pick up none other than Mr. Fish, the Basket Legion, who I have to admit I'm very surprised even made it to me in the first place. But you know what? We're not complaining. We have our Basket Legion. We have our what kind of fish are you? I don't know. Are you a catfish? Actually, you're not a catfish. Catfish don't look as good as you. I don't know. You're some kind of fish. I call it a popper fish sometimes, but I know it's not a popper fish. Anyway, he's my Mr. Fish. He is on the team. This mon is just like ridiculously broken at the moment because there's no Rocky helmet in the game, so there's really no way to punish this thing for being what it is. Which is basically you throw adaptability on it, give it some rain, you flip turn, you wave crash, you just kill stuff. And then you punish your opponent for doing the fundamental thing to win against you, which is kill your Pokemon, because this thing's real. I mean, it's not a signature move, but the move it uses the most is Last Respects, which gains 50 base power for every Pokemon on your side of the field that gets fainted. So, in theory, if Basque Legion is the last Pokemon on the field, you have a base 200 stab ghost move. There's not a lot of dark types in the goddamn format that take that move. The only one is really King Gambit because even Meowscarada doesn't appreciate taking that. And By the way, Meowscarada is not even the best Pokemon in VGC, to be honest with you. Um, Not to mention, adaptability boosts that further. And if I throw like a freaking spell tag on it with some tailwind, you guys get the idea. The damage output on this Pokemon is ridiculous because there's not really a whole lot of stuff that can check it. Which we're not complaining about that because it's on my team. You can honestly put this on any kind of weather team, even in sun, because you can just choose to just click last respects. You can put it in rain where it's at its best. You can put it in sand to help deal with certain matchups. You can do it in snow. And this thing has base 79, base 78 speed. So in theory, you could also use it in Trick Room. I wouldn't recommend it, but I guess in theory you could. But yeah, this mod can fit onto any kind of team, and its main thing is just killing stuff. That's Mr. Fish. Next on the team roster, we have the one, the only, the Stapler. So I think you guys already know what archetype I'm going for. Um, I've been trying to get these two together for the longest. I couldn't do it in SPDA because of the tiering system. I couldn't do it in NBBL because people want to just snipe me and stuff. I can't blame them though. Like I have good taste in Pokemon, and I guess you guys too. I can't help that. But finally, we get to use the Stapler alongside Basque Legion. So as you guys can tell, we're going for rain. So Basque Legion is a really strong physical rain abuser. Archaeodon's a really strong special attacking rain abuser. And on top of that, this one actually has a signature move, unlike Mr. Fish, called Electric Shot, which it's a charge move that boosts your special attack, but in rain you can basically skip the charge, kind of like clicking Solar Beam in the sun type stuff. So this mon can easily snowball games, and most Pokemon cannot kill Archaeodon and Basque Legion, so you have to really just decide what do I like. It's like a pick your poison situation if they're both in front of you, and I really like that. But yeah, I don't think it's a surprise. This thing's here to abuse rain and then just be a really strong physical. I'm not strong physical attacker, a really strong special attacker while being a really strong physical wall thanks to stamina. And then you have the ability Stalwart. So wherever like into a game where there's like redirection, we can basically ignore being redirected. And then I guess Sturdy, its last ability, does have some niche applications. We just probably won't use it too often. But yeah, that's the Stapler. Next on the team roster, we have, well, the Pokemon setting the rain in the form of Taxi, the Pelipper. This guy's mainly just here to set rain. I'm not even gonna like try to hype him up too much. He's here to set rain, maybe get some wide guards. Maybe we're gonna do some protects, but this guy's here for a few reasons. One, we need a rain. Two, I feel like we need wide guard because spread moves are so prevalent. And then thirdly, tailwind is always really nice. Outside of that, it's just like his natural talents, like whatever moves we can use to hit stuff like weather ball, hurricane, stuff like that. This mod is really it could be bulky on the physical side. Its HP kind of holds it back a little bit. But this mod can also be a good hit taker. It can also be really good offensively. It's a weird Pokemon that I've used and I like, but it's really weird. Like your stat distribution would suggest otherwise sometimes, but I like this Pokemon. We're gonna have fun with Mr. Taxi. So next on the team roster, I wanted to get a Mega Evolution that could abuse the rain, but also, you don't necessarily need the rain. You could be good outside of rain as well. There's a Mon I've been wanting to try to use since my first Champions draft, but it literally got sniped off of me as the first overall pick, which surprised me considering Mega Floette was literally right there. But you know what? This guy really liked the Pokemon. That's what he wanted. I can't be upset about it. But you know what? This time around, we finally get to use the Pokemon, and it's time for us to kill the hype. The Pokemon I'm talking about is none other than Lovebug the Dragonite. So, if you guys have seen my NBBO run for like a couple seasons ago, I have a shiny Dragonite named Lovebug, who we transferred over to this game to be our shiny Dragonite, who I've been actually doing really good on ladder with. Like, the first four Pokemon y'all see, like, this is like my ladder team. Like, no crap. So, yeah, having my ladder team is really nice. But Dragonite's a really good, really strong rain abuser because you have Hurricane, which is a stab move, coming off of its base 145 special attack after it Mega Evolves. And trust me, I know from experience, not a lot of things appreciate taking that hit. Not a lot of things actually want to take that hit, assuming they even live the hit to begin with. And then even if you don't kill with Hurricane, you still have an even stronger move in Draco Meteor. It does drop your special attack, but I mean, okay, just swap out and go into something, and then just come back in. It's that simple. Um, and even then, after a special attack boost, I mean drop, this thing still hits pretty hard. You get like coverage moves. Like for example, you want to hit like bulky waters, you get thunder, which you can take advantage of in the rain because it never misses. You get priority with extreme speed, even though that's a physical move. You can still use it to pick off things that aren't. Because usually Hurricane or Draco is going to kill stuff, and the things that don't kill is like you're not like you're barely living, homie. So an extreme speed typically can pick those mons off. Um, I guess I should mention it gets Tailwind, even though we're going to be using Taxi for that. So, but yeah, that's Love Bug. Mainly here to be like a really strong special attacker, but you can still use it physically because even though it doesn't have base 140 attack in its Mega form, it does have base 124, which is lower, but you could still make use of that. Like, let's be honest, yo, 124 attack, are you complaining about that if it's on your favorite Pokemon, if it's a physical attacker? I don't think so. Anyway, on to the next Pokemon. I wanted another Mega that could benefit from the rain. This Mon benefits more so defensively, whereas Dragonite benefits offensively. And the Pokemon I'm talking about is none other than Mega Scizor. So we have Mega Scizor. He's a steel bug type, so being in the rain, he still takes a lot from fire moves, but at least we can mitigate the damage enough that you're not just straight up getting one-shotted by every goddamn fire type in existence. But I do think this mon will be very beneficial towards the team because a really strong Pokemon in this format is Mega Floette. Yes, we have our Chaudon, but our Chaudon is a Dragon type as well as a Steel type, so you're actually neutral to those fairy moves, which get really, really hurt. Um, Scizor basically helps us not lose to like really strong fairy types like Floette, Primer. Well, Primarina could just get beat by freaking Basculegion, but mainly like Floette, Sylveon. Like we just don't want to. Those mons click buttons, bro. I'm just telling you. I know from using them. They click buttons. So we needed a way to counter those, as well as just in general strong fairy types. But those are the two strongest ones in my opinion, Floette and Sylveon. This thing can also be a setup sweeper, and you just set up and sweep with Bullet Punch, and whatever freaking last move you want. Knock off, Bug Bite, I think, because that's Technician boosted, so it's actually stronger than X Scissor. Um, just pick what you want. This guy is mainly a setup sweeper though, as from what I can tell. But yeah, that's Scizor, and also I like that Scizor and Dragonite give me priority. I mean, I guess Basculegion does the same, but it doesn't. We would prefer to click other moves than be clicking Aqua Jet. I think you guys can understand that, right? But yeah, that is the offensive part of my team. So for the rest of the draft, we're more so just getting like supportive pieces. So for the next round draft pick, I decided to pick up the king of support in the form of Mr. Saturn. Well, the king of support would actually be Whimsicott, but this would be like like the royal jester or something. Like he's like the very next best thing, because obviously Whimsicott was not going to still be on the board in round 6. At least I don't think it was. But anyway, we picked this guy up because um, one thing I feel like my team could benefit from is having the dual screens, which this Pokemon offers. This Pokemon also offers me Fake Out. This Pokemon also offers me like Helping Hand support, so we can do screens with Helping Hand, which really helps like my setup sweepers, or just in general just help my, because we have a really high damage output so far. So between screens and Helping Hand, like Helping Hand just increases the damage, and I feel like for the most part we have a pretty bulky team too, all things considered. So making the team bulkier and also making it hit harder, hey, listen, it's my opponent's problem, not mine. This Pokemon also gets Thunder Wave for speed control, and if I ever need it in a pinch, I can also run Rain Dance on this to reset my weather, as well as if I'm playing other teams I feel like has like weather or psychic terrain or like trick room or screens, I can run those same moves and run Imprison, and now they can't even click those moves, whereas I'm allowed to because I really need them. So this mod can do a lot of different things. You just have to really tailor it to the matchup. But yeah, that's Saturn. Next on the team roster, well, what's a rain team without a lightning rod Pokemon? We picked up Thor. We've had Rhyperior the last couple times we had rain. Oh, that's another thing, guys. I know I've had rain quite a couple times in my drafts. I'm just being real. I really like rain. 2, I just end up drafting it. And 3, really, there was just a rain team I was aiming for and never could get. So, in future drafts, expect us to branch out. But this is my intro to VGC, so I kind of was just going for my comfort. But just know going forward, we're going to try to branch out and try different things. I just wanted to point that out because I just realized, dang, we've had rain 3 times. But anyway, we have Thor, the Raichu. He's on the team just to be a redirector. Gives us another Fake Out. Nuzzle can be niche. Knockoff can be niche. Like these would be good moves, is what I'm trying to say. You get Encore, I believe, so you get Encore Pokemon to protect, which can be very beneficial. I'm pretty sure this mon gets Rain Dance, so technically you can reset weather with it as well, because you have base 110 speed, which outspeeds a lot of things in the format. Um, and then you do get like Thunder, I guess you could. Uh, I guess you could say it synergizes with the rain too, but yeah, that's right. You mainly here to be like lightning rod guy. Next on the team roster, we need a redirector. We're very low on points at this point, so we had to go with like one of the cheaper options. So I went with the best cheapest option, which is Charlotte, the Aria Dose, who is you get Rage Powder for. Okay, this thing does two things really good. You get Rage Powder, to redirect, and you also get String Shot. For those that don't know, String Shot is a spread move, and it drops both the Pokemon across from you speed by two. So essentially, it's like setting Tailwind. Just you're just affecting the stats directly instead. Um, I don't know what else this thing really does, but I know it does those two things really well. So we'll figure it out as the season goes on. Here to be a redirector. We love you, Charlotte. Next on the team roster, I figured we get a fairy type, and I thought this fairy type looks kind of cool with my team for the same reason Meowstic did in a sense. So for the next round, we decided to pick up none other than Little Miss the Alcremie. So this mon's main shtick in doubles is Decorate, which I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure Decorate gives like if you use Decorate on your partner Pokemon, it gives it a +2 boost in both of its offensive stats. Either it's +2 or it's +1, but regardless, I don't think Archaliudon or Scizor would complain about getting decorated over by Alcremie. Not to mention, I'm pretty sure Basculegion would not mind because you remember all that damage I was talking about earlier? Imagine if I decorate the freaking Basculegion that's adaptability and choice scarf. Like I'm just saying, like that thing will just literally end the game on the spot if you cannot kill it directly. Now I will say because people know this mon decorates, you probably just double target the slot beside me, but is it really a big deal if we're just killing stuff anyway? But yeah, I don't really know what else this mon does. I know it has an ability that stops your partner from being put to sleep, I believe is what it is. And sleep is pretty good in doubles. Not sure what else you do, but you're on the team. We're going to use you, I promise. Happy to have you. And then we only had enough points to get one more Pokemon. Typically, I would like to have a dark type on my team and a fighting type. And coincidentally, there was one Pokemon that fit both roles in the form of Pangoro. So it's a really strong physical attacker. You get good abilities like you get Iron Fist. You get Scrappy. I think you get Scrappy. Do you get Scrappy? I think you get Scrappy. These are really good abilities to have on this thing. Um, you have a pretty it has a pretty wide move pool, all things considered. I'm not gonna lie, like the move pool is pretty colorful in the sense that outside of its stabs, it can pretty much hit anything that you would think could resist Dark and Fighting. Um, 58 speed, you can be a Trick Room on, even though we don't have Trick. Well, we do have Trick Room, but I don't think we will run Trick Room that often. Honestly, I don't know what to expect from this Pokemon. I just know it hits hard. There's probably some good matchups for it, so look forward to us using Pangoro. I wish I had more to say about the last couple, like the last few Mons, but I really just don't know a lot about them. I just know what their niches are. But yeah, guys, that is the team. Once again, I'm sorry about the previous video not having any audio, and hopefully y'all can hear the audio in the team builder in my week one. But if not, you know, in the future we plan to fix that. We're not going to re-upload that video, I'm just saying, but in the future, like week 2 4, we plan to fix that. Thank you if you chose to watch this again just to see what I thought. For real, like I really appreciate you, and in general just being here, like just for being here, I appreciate you. But thank you everybody for tuning in. If you haven't done so already, please remember to like and subscribe, and until next time, peace out.